Our next group, they are from Orange Glen High School. Esmeralda Matias, Jessica Gaspar, and Odalise Cruz. Please welcome Uno Curita a la vez.
42% of Hispanics never visit a medical provider during the year.
But it's a lack of financial stability for medical insurance. Many of them tend to stray away from reaching out to healthcare resources.
Our mission was to encourage underserved individuals to make decisions that provide personal health through education and providing them with basic healthcare services.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Matias.
I'm Odalise Cruz.
I'm Jessica Gaspar.
And we are Una Curita a la vez.
For our project, we organized a free health fair event in collaboration with Neighborhood Healthcare in Phoenix, San Diego.
We had a food distribution and offered COVID-19 vaccines along with blood pressure, glucose, and dental screening.
People were able to directly connect with 13 different health resources.
We directly impacted 190 individuals.
And 90% of attendees had not had a medical screening in over a year.
With your help, we hope to continue to offer free services,
educate, and change people's perspectives on healthcare.
Hello. Our project is Una Curita a la vez. My name is Odalise Cruz.
I'm Esmeralda Matias.
And I'm Jessica Gaspar.
Una Curita a la vez translates to one bandage at a time. We chose the name because we wanted to pay homage to our culture and start healing the wounds created by healthcare and accessibility. Through our shared experiences, we realized how essential healthcare resources are for low-income, uninsured minorities. One of the many people affected by the lack of access to healthcare resources was my mom. I remember when I was about 12 years old, waking up to my aunt knocking. I was scared and confused, as I did not know where my parents were or what my aunt was there to tell me. She proceeded to tell my siblings and I that my mother was rushed to the hospital because her gallbladder was in danger of bursting and she could die. My mother had suffered from gallstones for 13 agonizing years. Due to being uninsured, she could not seek the surgery that she needed. And at the time, I did not understand why anyone would prioritize anything but their health. However, as I grew older, I realized that it was not that simple, that unfortunately many people had to face the decision between putting food on the table and paying for necessities or seeking health care, which can cost money. Which is why Esmeralda, Jessica, and I wanted to do something about it. For our project, we created a health resource fair. We had over 13 different resource tables, which included Universidad Popular and First Five, whose missions were similar with ours to provide education and health resources to low-income individuals in our community. We also had a food distribution, blood pressure, glucose, and dental screenings. Our project was made possible by our partnerships with Feeding San Diego and Neighborhood Healthcare.
We were able to secure these partnerships because we went up to the people we knew and asked for help. This is something that we learned is very crucial when organizing these types of events. I'm an active member of my community, and I'm actually a youth leader for the Drug-Free Coalition in my town. I went up to the main coordinator of this coalition and told her about our project, but most importantly, what we were struggling with. I told her how we were having trouble finding a medical provider to join our project. She was able to directly connect me with the outreach manager at Neighborhood Healthcare in Escondido, Damaris. We set up a meeting with Damaris, told her about our project, what we wanted to accomplish, and what we needed. She was ecstatic to see that a group of teens were willing to put on such an event, so she was more than happy to help us out. At the beginning of our project, we were set on doing this all alone, but after connecting with Damaris and Neighborhood, we learned we don't have to. There are people out there that share the same mission and vision as us and are willing to put in the time and effort to solve the same issues. Overall, our whole experience has taught us not to shy away from asking others for help.
And then here pictured on the screen is Alfredo, one of our attendees and who is also around 50 years old. He was also the winner of a 50-inch TV we were able to raffle off at our health fair. And when we went to go deliver his prize winnings, we were able to ask him a couple of questions, one of them being why he attended our event. He explained to us that he recognizes the importance of being informed with all the different resources that are in our area, because as a person is growing older, they are much more prone to becoming ill with diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure, which are very common in our Latin community. And one thing that really stood out to us when we did interview him was that with all the brochures he collected from our health fair, he is studying them little by little, which we were very happy to hear. And then overall with our event, we were able to impact 190 individuals. And out of everyone we were able to survey, 100% of them expressed on how they planned on utilizing these resources we introduced to them in the future.
Some of you may be asking, where are you guys taking this from here? Well, we think this could be big. Here are our next 3 steps. First, we'll solidify our partnership with San Isidro Health. This is an organization that has already demonstrated their interest in partnering with us. With them, we'll be able to provide cancer health screenings at our events. This is something that we think is important and should be more accessible in our communities. Second, we'll organize our health fair in Fallbrook. This is a town very close to where we live that has a high populace of low-income individuals. We want to share our services and resources with these people. And third, since we got such a positive response from our local community and many individuals coming up to us directly and asking, when are you guys doing this again? We will organize our health fair again in our town of Escondido. Overall, we anticipate to impact a minimum of 400 individuals.
And for those of you guys wondering, my mother is doing fine now, and she actually volunteered at our resource fair, and she is beyond proud that we were able to make a positive difference in our community.
With our health fairs, with the services and education that we are providing, we want more Hispanics and Latinos to start making conscious decisions that prioritize their health first. We want them to understand this. There is support out there. There are organizations, people ready to help them out of their circumstances and get them the health care they deserve. We want them to learn, similar to what we learned, to use their voice, reach out, and ask for help. As a team, we know that we can continue making an impact and change people's lives, one bandage at a time.
Una curita a la vez.
Thank you.
This time we're going to have questions from our judges. Thank you.
All right. Odalise, Jessica, and Esmeralda, very good job. Thank you so much. So my question for you, you mentioned that when you were looking for a partner, that it was hard. So what was it that actually changed and allowed you to form that partnership to make the event possible?
To make this partnership possible, I really just used the connections I already established in my community. So, like I mentioned, I asked the person that I worked in the coalition with to help me out with the project. I asked her, do you know anybody in the community that could help us out with this project? And she was able to connect me with neighborhood and the outreach manager there. And through her, we were able to also connect with Feeding San Diego and have the food distribution. Personally, I'm a very introverted person, so even asking and taking that first step to ask someone for help was a really big deal for me. But doing that really taught me that I could open up more doors when I do that.
Well, it sounds like you took a bet on yourself and you doubled down, so good job.
And just wonderful presentation, and what a great project that you have. It's very, very impressive, and it's so wonderful when you have something that has an important why to it. Your mother's health, to have that realization, I'm sure really helped a lot. When you take a look at different ways to roll this out in the future, I know you've got a couple of different programs that you're looking at, or different places at having these outreach events. Are you looking at ways that you can incorporate putting together some other groups within the different schools, like within the different high schools and stuff? Is this something that you think you can duplicate with a model where some other people could be doing the same thing?
Yeah, so we've been thinking a lot how this has really impacted our lives, and we know that other teens can do it. Something that we often heard from a lot of adults we talked to was, wow, I wish there was more teens like you going out in the community and doing this. And since we've already done this health fair, we know our mistakes and we know where we can improve. We basically have the blueprint to organize these events. So we were planning in the future to mentor other teens to help them organize health fair events or other events that they might have a passion in.
And have you given any thought to follow up with the people whose lives you've already touched to be able to take a look at 6 months or a year down the road and see if they're still following it? Because one of the things that we always see is we have a tendency to do things right away and then we forget about them. So have you thought through about how to keep people kind of on the path?
Yeah, well, because a lot of people that did attend our fair, they were pretty close to us because our community is pretty small, so we do get close. And so we can really like connect with them, and also like because we do have a lot of friends at school, we can like keep them updated with a lot of stuff like, oh, are you making sure your parents doing this, that? So really having like a sort of bond with our community, which helps a lot, keeping contact with everyone we were able to impact.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. The motto of my nonprofit is love, compassion, community, and you exhibit all three of those, so well done.
Ladies, I just really commend you. You took on one of the most important challenges our community is facing right now, and you did it in a way that was without fear, even though you acknowledged that, you know, you had some concerns and you had to ask for help. I know here at the university, health disparities is one of the big topics that our entire university is thinking about, and oftentimes people feel like, oh, it's just too big of a problem, there's nothing we can do about it. So the next time someone ever says that to me, I'm going to use you as an example. Because you just inspire us around that. I'd just be curious real quick, how has this experience perhaps shaped your perspective as what you might want to do for a career?
Well, personally, I want to go into the medical field, and just the whole experience with my mom, that really shaped my perspective. But the satisfaction from the event, it felt really good. So I knew that I for sure probably am going to go into the medical field and like help people that are low income as well with my career.
Well, I should mind you, we actually have a good healthcare program here. I've heard, but I'm sorry, I don't know. The others have an answer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always been interested in going to the medical field, which is kind of why we started this project. This is kind of like where I rooted from. And this whole experience has really taught me kind of like that feeling of seeing how much we help other people. Even if we don't talk to them, we really don't know them, or they were just there for the raffle. It was really satisfying it was just satisfying seeing how they were there. And a lot of people were coming up to us and asking, wow, is this really all free? And we kept having to reassure them that yes. And seeing that really showed me the problem that there is in the communities, how there isn't this free access. So I really want to continue solving this issue in the future. So definitely going into the medical field and doing a change is something I'm looking forward into doing.
And then for me, I am planning on going into engineering, which is different from medical, but a lot of lessons that I did learn from this experience will apply to it. Like a lot of like speaking out and really asking for help when I do need it, because engineering is a hard field and I know that I will need help with it a lot. So I'm open to anything and open to adapting and really asking for help.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be great. Congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. Keep it going for them, everyone. Keep it going. Esmeralda, Jessica, and Odalise. Amazing future leaders.